Hello, my Earth Angel friends. Reverend Nina Rowe, founder of AngelsTeach.com. I usually do a Wheel of the Year spread that I publish in January at the beginning of the year. And 2012 has already proven to be just a little bit different from other years. And so I'm just publishing this video now here in February, and I'm actually going to do a seasonal spread. So I'm going to pick one card for each of the 4 seasons. So let's see what our angels have in store for 2012. I am using Tony Carmen Salerno's Spirit Oracle deck, and the first card coming forward is Forgiveness. Ha! Isn't this funny? So winter, we have forgiveness. The forgiveness card is, I'm just taking a look at it here myself. Obviously, it is about forgiveness. It's also about surrendering. You'll notice that the image of the Christ on the cross, he's given up. He's given over to the divine. He's let go of his earthly attachments. And he is allowing Spirit, you'll see the energy that's just swirling around him, lifting him up, carrying him forward, so that he's in the image of the card that as I'm seeing it evolve, because it's actually taking motion as I'm reading it, is that his body is being lifted up away from the attachments of the cross, away from the attachments of the ego. So winter 2012 is everything about forgiveness, everything about surrendering and letting go, because we really have no other choice, is the bottom line. As we choose to stay tied to that cross, nailed to that cross, if you will, life becomes that much more challenging. And there comes a point where the challenge is just too much to bear. That cross is too much to bear, and you have to let go. And that's what the energies of 2012 are bringing forward for everyone. So for the spring, I'm already getting a little message in the fact that it's taking a little while to come forward here. And it's the last card in the deck, also a message. Interesting. Message from afar. First thing I'm noticing on this image is it looks like a blueberry, which kind of is amusing me, because a blueberry just really plump, really ripe and juicy and full of potential is what I'm feeling, and yet it's hard to get to. The spring it's not quite there. The card didn't come up right away. It took a while. I could have just gone right to the back of the pack, and I didn't. I wasn't guided to. I was guided to just slowly go through everything and finally get to the end. And this beautiful message from afar card is about trusting that the spring will be abundant with new growth, and yet it's going to feel at times somewhat out of reach. That it's not quite there, that it's taking a little bit more time than perhaps you might expect. And going back to the lessons from the winter, learning to surrender, to trust, to forgive yourself as you might get impatient with that new growth taking a little bit longer to come to fruition. You will notice that my dear sweet cat Fluffy has insisted on joining me here for this video, and I just want to say something briefly about animals. I've been traveling through my healing journey this winter, and Fluffy has been a big part of that. She reminds me when I need to take a break. She reminds me when I need to rest. She reminds me how to relax and how to love and just to cuddle. And while that may seem really obvious, I think one thing that the energies of 2012 are bringing forward for us that's really, really important to remember is honor and respect, and really appreciating the sanctity, the sacredness of all life. The animals, the plants, the minerals, the rocks, all of it. And understanding that we're on this journey together, and that when she wants to join me in a video, it's not wrong, it's not a mistake. She's got something that she needs to share with me, and the angels are working through her, just as they work through me and you. So, Fluffy's going to help me choose the card for summer. You ready? You ready, sweetheart? Okay. Is this the right one? Yeah? Purr. Opportunity. Beautiful. Noticing the fireworks here. And, yeah. I'm not going to argue with her. It's an opportunity to climb on mommy. All right, so I'm just going to continue with the end of the message from this opportunity card. And what I'm noticing actually is that, of course, there's the ocean there, but you'll notice underneath it looks like waves. And I'm also, it's right now, because of what just happened with Fluffy, it's looking like fur. And it's looking like fluffy, playful, joyful fur time. What does that mean, you're wondering? Interesting, what I'm hearing is that it's time to take action, which is really an interesting evolution of this card, because it starts out with playfulness, it starts out with fun, and the fluffy call to action, because she decided she wanted to be on my lap. Didn't matter what the barriers, didn't matter what was going on, she was going to be on my lap. And yes, in a joyful, loving way, but it was a call to action. She knew what she wanted, she took focused action, and she got her way. And I think that, you know, that springtime energy that was growing and not quite within reach in the springtime is now starting to come to fruition. Only, and I want to emphasize this, only as you do it from a place of joy and levity. Keywords there, joy and levity. And if you try to push, you try to do anything not in alignment with those light energies of playfulness, it's not going to work. So be sure to have fun this summer. So let's see what we have in store for fall of 2012, bringing us to the winter solstice, which is December 21st, 2012. And it is the darkest time in the northern hemisphere, and it is the lightest time in the southern hemisphere for our friends down under. And the card coming forward for the fall of this year is, again, a little bit tricky coming forward. Oh, that's odd. It's message from afar again. I'm going with it. I'm going with it, Earth Angel friends. Because I've been keeping these, I haven't been laying these out, I've been keeping them in the stack. And sometimes this happens. This also happens when we use cards digitally because we don't have a deck to put down and pick up again. So really, really interesting message here that it's circling back again from the spring to the fall, and yet it's a new iteration. What I'm noticing now when I look at the card is it's not the blueberry image because it's evolving. The message is different here. This is a great example for you guys to see how a single card can carry multiple energies, different messages, depending upon the context. And the context here obviously is for the end of this year. So what I'm noticing here now is the perimeter. It's really, it's the white energies around this blue orb in the center of the card. And I'm seeing some of that fluffy energy from the summertime coming out from that, what looks like really an eyeball. And the image here is that it's important to focus on the external circumstances, are the words that I'm hearing. In other words, to pay very close attention to what's happening in your world around you, because what's happening in your world around you is very much a message to you about your role in this transition for 2012. So in other words, if you find yourself often counseling people at work, or you find yourself helping people find things at the grocery store, whatever it is that you are experiencing with those seemingly external circumstances, those are indicators of what your life mission is. And the message from afar here that I'm hearing is that the end of this year, as we enter that magical point at the winter solstice of 2012, is when our life missions are going to become crystal clear for everybody on this planet if you pay attention to what's happening around you. And I'm hearing that this has to be emphasized very strongly. Pay attention to what's happening in your world around you, especially towards the end of this year. Notice what people are asking you to do. How are people, quote unquote, ordaining you? What do they expect from you? What do they need from you? And looking at that as being guideposts, if you will, to what your life mission is all about. So, with that, let's see if there's any final messages from our angels here for 2012. And what I'm hearing is stay the course. It's so important to be listening to our angels and to be using them as our guides through this time of change. Absolutely essential. I can't emphasize that enough. So with that, I wish you all blessings of love, joy, and abundance. And I invite you to check out more about AngelsTeach at AngelsTeach.com. And you can also visit us online at Facebook.com/AngelsTeach. Wishing you all a beautiful, bountiful 2012. Be well, my Earth Angel friends.